Welcome to DianaToday, where you will always find a word of encouragement and especially a word of restoration. Here at DianaToday, you will find life coaching, you will find fitness training, you will find health and wellness, nutrition specialists, and you will find business coaches. And tonight, I have the privilege of being with one of my very good friends and business partner, Andrew Chapa.
Well, hey, Diana, always a pleasure to be here.
Yes, and it's always a riot for us to be together.
Yes.
And so tonight we're going to be talking about ChasePurpose. We've been talking about ChasePurpose for a couple of weeks now, and I was part of an interview recently. I was actually interviewed live on DSTV here, and I was asked what would be my motto, or what would be my, I guess, slogan or something along those lines. And that was an easy question for me because I immediately responded, #ChasePurpose. And for me, that summarizes everything. It summarizes our pursuit for excellence. It summarizes our pursuit for purpose. It summarizes our pursuit for our vision, our goals. It summarizes everything. And it summarizes my journey.
Yes.
Right? And we've been talking about that. And so tonight we want to expand on that a little bit. I want to expand on what it means to me, what it can mean to you. And of course, what does that mean to Chapa? And some of the conversations that we've had and the correlation between my life coaching, right? And your fitness coaching, how those two things align and how they correlate. And so let's start by asking you, what does ChasePurpose mean to you?
Well, ChasePurpose means a lot of similar things it does to you. And so from a fitness aspect, it's still, chasing the goal of how we want to look, how we want to feel, and then those are things that are common in the fitness industry, but a lot of people don't realize what they exactly want in that. Yeah. But it is the same. We want to feel better, look better, and it comes with nutrition. It comes with a game plan of working out and, getting sleep, rest, and the things that we do. Right.
Now, you just said a word that right immediately, it just triggers my mind because you said we need a game plan.
Right.
Right. So one of the things, and people have asked me why life coaching or why a fitness coach? Why don't you just go to the gym? But having a game plan, right, gives you direction.
It does.
Right. Some people walk into the gym aimlessly. They don't know if to get on the treadmill, the elliptical, the row machine, lay on the ground and pretend they're asleep. Pretend like they worked out. I mean, you have to have a game plan. Right. And so the correlation here is that in fitness, there needs to be a plan, which is the importance of having a fitness coach or having a CrossFit coach or whatever coach, works for you. But it's in correlation also with life coaching. There has to be a game plan. So part of chasing purpose is having that game plan. So when a client comes to you, Chapa, and says, or shows you a picture, this was me 20 years ago, or this is a magazine and I want to look like that. What is your first step? Where do you start in coaching this person?
That's a great question. And I'll use an analogy. We're up here in the North Dallas area. If we wanted to go downtown, what would we do? We usually take out our smartphone and we key our destination, right?
Yeah.
And we start from somewhere to our destination. And along the way, there's going to be some detours, turns, exits. So getting back to your question, it's the same thing. So if a client says, I want to look like this picture again, my question is to them is, okay, now what have you been doing in the meantime? So a lot of times it's the meal plans have changed quite a bit. The workout habits have decreased.
Right.
So I assess that. So we first find out, what they're eating. And then go from there and come up with a game plan of hitting the gym according to where they're at physically. So I do an assessment. Again, we got to know where they're at, how healthy they are. And so we move forward. And so a lot of times, that's the easy part.
Right.
That's the easy part. The hard part is really testing the commitment. And there's some things that we can do, with meal plans that are, done for you. So you don't have to think. We also have a nutrition line, that's done for you that, you don't have to think. You just take and go, rip and sip as we go.
Rip and sip.
So we as trainers or coaches, we have a plan. We just have to plug and play with where those people are at.
Right.
Just like we do when we pick up our smartphone and get directions to our destination.
Yes. And so a lot of the result, right? It's, so you have a game plan, but a lot of the result is for us as individuals being determined to stay with the plan.
Yes.
Right? To be part of the game plan. I can't show up and say, hey, I don't know what happened. You gave me this game plan and I still haven't lost anything, but yet I'm going home and I'm eating the same way or making some different choices, you know, with my food or with my exercise, right? So basically it requires determination.
Yes. Not
only from the coach to the client, but also myself. I need to be able to embrace that.
Right. And determination, and people also put the word dedication.
Right.
And as we have small wins and victories, the small victories become our motivator to keep going forward.
Right.
And so the dedication or determination, it becomes easier, and people will start looking at you. Well, you're determined, you're dedicated.
Right.
But it's more of loving the results from the baby steps and the small wins become bigger victories.
Right.
You know, and again, it's about and then when they see the inches are receding,
right,
and the weight is going down and feeling better.
Right.
That's the victory.
Yes.
Everybody wants that. Nobody wants to get up at 4 or 5 in the morning and go to the gym, including myself. But we like the results of stepping out of the shower and looking in the mirror and liking what we're seeing.
Right. And I believe I think that's how we met, actually. I know that we met at the gym. You know, at 5 a.m. and, you know, with my cap down to here, you know. And so you said something that was very interesting about dedication, right? And about being able to stay with the plan and to start seeing some small wins, start seeing some small results, right? And I believe that when we talk about chasing purpose, when we talk about #ChasePurpose, and we're pursuing our purpose, we're pursuing our vision, it's not going to happen overnight.
No.
Certain changes start to take place. There's certain gains that we have. There's certain things that happen in our life that lead us to that place that we want to get to. Whether it be a fitness goal, whether it be a career goal, whether it be a relationship goal, whether it be a parenting goal, whatever that may be, whatever that looks like for you, it starts with determination. It's that starting point.
It is a starting point. And one of the things I'll add, you know, I didn't grow up wanting to be a trainer. It's one of the things I became good at, and people started coming to me.
Right.
And so I became a trainer and because I love helping people. And so I had the keys to unlock some of the components to receiving that.
Yes.
And so that's my purpose, is helping people. And it's just in that arena that I get to do it in.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, I'll ask you, so why life coaching?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, you just said it right now. When you said, I just have the key to unlock. You see, the difference for me, right? The reason why people have asked me the same question you have, why did you get into life coaching? Isn't that the same as, you know, counseling or you know, it all falls in the same genre, right?
Right.
But the difference for me is that key, I'm actually unlocking something you already have in you. My job is to help you navigate that. My job is for you to take that key and unlock the vision that's in you, that potential that's in you, that goal that's in you. It's being able to unlock it. It's being able to say, yes, you can do it, and navigate that. And when I use that word navigate, the reason why I use the word navigate is because we are all going to experience resistance.
Yep.
We are all going to experience hurdles in life. We are all going to experience moments where we really honestly believe we're not going to make it. I mean, we're like, I'm stuck right here. This boat it's not going anywhere.
Oh, wow.
And so my role is to come alongside you and help you navigate it, help you redirect that, and let you know that you are going to get to the other side. It's already in you. The gifting is in you. The potential is in you. The skill set's already in you. It's all yours. But I got to take that key and unlock it. Unlock it with the word of God, speaking that over your life. Unlock it by reminding you of how great you truly are. Not because we want to say all things positive, you know, all good and flowery. No, there's going to be thorns.
Yes.
You know, working out, it's hard.
Yes.
Sometimes. There's a price to pay.
There's a price to pay. And just like you say, the unlocking the keys, what I see as I already see the unlocked lock, because we do have the keys. And so when I see someone and the effort, I can already say, we're going to fix that.
Right.
And it's just through motivating and coaching them through that process, through the sweat, the tears of joy, and the tears of sorrow.
Yeah. Those moments. Yes. When, you know, I know that, you know, when I started CrossFit, you know, back in 2013 at Sanctum and Prosper. And I never forget this one time. And it was, you know, amazing coach and Rob Helm, who was at that time. Yes. I remember one time I was just laid out and I just didn't have any more energy. And I never forget that moment because he said, it's just one more. And I looked up at him like, what do you mean one more? And he says, we just got one more. It was one more lap. I just needed to run one more lap. And just having that voice to tell me that I could run that lap, I was able to run that lap. I was this close to giving up. And a lot of times it's just that next step. It's just someone coming alongside you and telling you, yes, you can do this. Exactly. Yes, you're going to be able to do it. And so in chasing purpose, there has to be a game plan. You can't chase aimlessly.
No.
And again, I have to use this as a reference because this is a strong life lesson for me. Back in 2012, I started running. I started doing races. And I never forget, I just, bought the best sneakers I can get and I trained a little bit and I went out and did a half marathon. I didn't even start with a 5K. I was thrown right into a half marathon. And I remember after drinking the pre-workout, that thing kicked in. And I mean, I was out there. And then after that, I just got, into doing races and I was just out there, but I would get burnt out so quickly. I couldn't run the whole thing until one of my running coaches spoke to me and said, Diana, you need to find your rhythm. You need to pace yourself. If you want to run with endurance, you really do need to pace yourself. And so I adapted that, and I started getting my own rhythm and my own pace. And so I did a run in McKinney, Texas, here in McKinney, Texas. And there are a few hills. Yes. Okay, hills are not my best friend. I don't know. Some runners, they love that. Me, I don't want to run hills. But I applied what my running coach trained me to do. And I focused in my lane, I focused on where I was running. I didn't look up at the hill and I didn't look at the people around me. I focused on my pace and my rhythm. And before I knew it, I had finished the race. And so what I learned from that and the lesson that I was able to apply to my life in all the other areas is how important it is for me to focus on my purpose and not really look to what everybody else is doing, at what pace they're doing it. Because during that race, people were passing me up. But I could see them through my peripheral, but I wasn't looking at them. And I wasn't caring too much about people passing me up. And that's where we can sometimes get caught up. When we care more about what somebody else is doing, how quickly they're attaining what they're attaining, how are they going about it? And what happens is we lose focus and we lose momentum. Because whatever it is God has called them to do is with them. Whatever God has called us to do, it's according to our own rhythm and our own pace. Yes. Right? The same thing with fitness. Right. So we're going back and forth. There's such a strong correlation.
A very strong correlation. And one thing that's on the tip of my tongue, well, I'm sure you're about to say it, is the term I used is staying in their lane.
Yes, absolutely.
In the gym when we're exercising, a lot of times, especially men, I'll just say they'll look over and they may see, they're lifting the gym and I'm not. Yeah. Or a female, they're wearing that and I can't. Right. And so we're always, I say a lot of times clients will do that and lose focus, which you lose momentum. Right. And we lose purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because frustration sets in. Right. And we have to remind our clients that to stay in your lane.
Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons, and I'm so glad you mentioned that, one of the reasons why I just, decided, or I feel as though God had already prepared the way for me to become a life coach is because I found myself doing that.
Anyway, right?
Anyways, all the time. One of the examples that I always give, I don't consider myself by far a fitness trainer, by far, but I'm in the fitness arena. Let's say I'm surrounded. But many times I get the opportunity or the honor or the privilege to be able to speak into women's lives that don't feel like they can do it. I've been able to speak into women's lives to tell them, you know, you just need to get in there because it's a domino effect, right? If you're struggling and you're going through a crisis and you're going through depression or you're going through a time where you're just a really difficult time, you don't want to do anything.
No.
If you don't feel good and your self-esteem, you don't feel good about the way you look, you still don't want to do anything. You know you need to do something about it, but you still don't want to do anything.
Exactly.
So I always tell women, you need to start somewhere. I always tell them, start by going and buying yourself a really bright shirt. And they've asked me, why a bright shirt? Because most of the time they're going to want to show up with an oversized, dark looking something. Am I right?
You're right.
And so I start them off by something that motivates them to get going. And what does that mean? There's a thought behind it. A lot of times we just need someone to deposit a word of encouragement. It's an engine starter. It's a passion starter. Something that someone can point out that we're good at, right? And something that reminds us of what we're capable of, right? Because I've gone through moments where my self-esteem has been challenged. I've gone through moments where I just don't want to do anything anymore. But there's something inside, voices that have been deposited in me, such as yourself, my pastors, mentors that I have in my life, voices that have been deposited in me that say, you can do one more. You've got one more in you. Yes, you do. And that helps me keep on going.
That is awesome. For me and in my realm, it's a similar situation. And it really, when we talk about roadmap and where we're, having those keys to unlock, and it starts off with one of the things that everyone hates when we take measurements and pictures.
Yes.
But those are key factors as proof as they move forward in their progression, where the skill may stay the same, but they've lost inches in certain areas.
Absolutely.
And the pictures, the physically appearance looks change.
Yes.
And so those are the small victories that keep you going. They keep them focused. And so, it's just like we talked about just earlier, the small wins create the victories.
Right. Absolutely.
That create, the champions within. And then it becomes a motivator, right? It becomes a motivator. So the little win in the gym can carry forward into the house.
Yes.
The workplace.
Yes, absolutely.
And I know that's what you do.
Yes, absolutely. And I want to try to paraphrase this because when I was at Sanctum, I never forget, we started doing prayer before the WOD. And I remember a prayer, or let's say a service or a message that we shared about the importance of CrossFit. And this is when Rob Helm had CrossFit up here in Prosper. And we said that a healthy individual will be in a healthy marriage. A healthy marriage is going to produce a healthy family. A healthy family is going to produce a healthy community. A healthy community is going to produce a healthy society. It all starts that way. It all correlates.
It's a butterfly effect.
It is, absolutely.
But it starts with the positive input that we put into people. We do this daily as a life coach, as a trainer.
Yes.
And as we continue to do that and teach that, it changes lives, which will change the world.
Absolutely. And it's one person at a time.
Yes.
And it was like what you just mentioned earlier. You said, maybe the scale doesn't change, but the inches do. So it might be 1 inch at a time, right? And so if we apply that to chasing purpose, and you ask yourself, for instance, when I was running that hill, I didn't run much faster. I was keeping my momentum. I was keeping my pace. I was keeping my own rhythm. And before you know it, I was advancing and advancing and advancing. And a lot of times we think we have to make these drastic changes. What is it that I have to do? And a lot of times we just have to stay in our lane and stay within the instruction that God already gave us and keep steady. We don't have to seek out something new every other week. We don't have to seek something new every other month. We just kind of have to keep on working on the things that have already been deposited in us. And this is really good because right now we are on DSTV, Direct Sales TV Network, which I feel completely honored. I've been doing this for a long time.
Yes.
I didn't start doing it when this camera came on. I've been working on it for years. I did this in California. I've done it when I moved here to Texas, and clips here and there. What does that mean? That means I continue to chase purpose. I continue to stay in my lane. I continue to, in one way or the other, I was going to get there.
Yes.
Right? And so what does that mean to you tonight? What does chase purpose mean to you? What is it that you desire to do? What is it that is in your heart? What lights you up? What brings you to life? What is it that wakes you up in the morning with excitement to know that you are going to accomplish that? And again, the question is, what are you doing to do that? And so here at DianaToday, we have fitness coaches that can help you. We have nutrition specialists that can help you. We have products that can help you. We have life coaches that can help you.
Yes.
And we have business coaches that can help. We're aligned with people and resources to be able to help you reach your goals. And perhaps you're somebody that's tuning in and saying, I'm just in a really difficult place in my life. And I think I speak for myself, but I also speak for Chapa. We've all been in difficult spots.
Yes.
We all have a story to tell. We have a story of struggle. We have a story of maybe painful moments. We have stories of many tears and many laughter as well. We all have a story. But one thing we have in common is we haven't given up.
That's right.
And I'm going to say this, and I want to close with this because this is the best way that I can close it. As long as there is a God sitting on his throne, there is hope and there is restoration.
Amen.
And there is definitely direction. And Habakkuk says in chapter 2, verse 2, and I love this because it says, write the vision and make it clear. Take the time to figure out and assess what is your purpose. What is it that you want to do? And go after it.
Chase it.
Chase it. Get a game plan and chase after it. So tonight, we want to share that word with you. We're so glad that you tuned in. Thank you, Chapa, for joining me on this program and being a part of this journey. Thank you again for tuning in to DianaToday. You can get more information at DianaToday.com, or you can look us up on Facebook, look us up on YouTube, Twitter, and all of these social media platforms. But then you can tune back in here at DSTV with DianaToday. It's Let's Talk Life with DianaToday. Thank you for tuning in, and have a good night.
Good night.